Hey everyone, Paula Aponte here, and my website is resultsthatmoveyou.com. That's results with a Z. And this is my third video that I've made since I've been licensed as a real estate agent, which was August 2018 that I got licensed, the end of August. And I made 2 videos so far. And I was hesitant to make the third one because I think after I made my second video, kind of some light bulbs went off and I started learning even more, and I realized that I really don't know enough to start making videos to give advice because I'm just way too new in this game, and in all honesty I still am. So I can only tell you what I know, and then I don't know what I don't know. So I don't know how much information you're going to get, but you're going to get the real honest truth from me is what I can guarantee you 100% sure. So I started out, just kind of a quick summary, got my license. I had a broker that I was working with that their office was probably about 4 hours from where I lived. And I'm in Central Florida area, kind of, sort of, and they were in Naples, if you're familiar. So that was like all the way down south. And when people would ask me, well, who is that brokerage that you're with, whether it would be a customer or somebody who I just gave my card to, I had to, explain, well, that's just my broker. It's not, it's not where I work, but my broker lives over there or works over there, or his office is over there. So probably all three. So anyway, I was with them for about 2 months. They were a 100% brokerage, which is absolutely asinine for a new agent to join a 100% brokerage because you've got no help, no assistance, no training, nothing. But the reason why I did it is because I had a mentor on the side that was a experienced realtor who was sort of helping me and guiding me on the sidelines. But I don't think I really knew what I wanted from him exactly. So I decided that I was gonna switch over and go to a brokerage that was a little bit more well-known. Now, this brokerage company is not necessarily like really well-known. They're not your Keller Williams, which everybody knows Keller Williams, right? Don't have to say that name twice for somebody to recognize it. But they are a franchise that I'm with. And they do your typical 80-20 splits, 90-10. They do have 100% commission, depending on where you're at with your sales. So it's pretty typical. The only downside is I feel like I'm still not getting the training, but my broker's there pretty much like 24/7. If I have a question, I just send him a message and he answers it. It's short and sweet, but it's an answer. So I'll take what I get. But there's no, like speakers or weekly trainings, any kind of colleague collaboration, nothing like that is going on. And I feel as a new agent that I wish that I did have that. There are some pros to why I stay where I am and why I deal with not having that training that I want. One of them is because my office has this really cool thing set up with Zillow, which is Zillow Broker Flex Leads, and they basically, it's different than paying for a zip code. You're basically paying Zillow, and you can put as many zip codes in as you want that you're willing to drive through to show houses, or drive to show houses. But Zillow does get off the top a certain percentage of your commission, which is a big chunk. But at the end of the day, the leads that you get, they are better. They're better than, just like your typical tire kickers that, when you have a paid zip code, you have every, Tom, Dick, and Harry calling you just being curious about a house. So these are calls that Zillow facilitates, and they kind of screen the call before they give it to you. And so they know that the buyer is pretty much interested in wanting to buy something. So I like that, and not a lot of brokerage offices have that. Not a lot of brokerage offices, especially even your big name ones like Keller Williams, they're not a fan of using Zillow. Zillow has, I don't know, like there's like a love-hate relationship, I think, between realtors and Zillow. I don't mind using Zillow. I mean, I just feel like the time is, we are in the market where online, internet, everything is so relevant right now that we should be trying to cater our business to what the market is and what the how things work now, you know, and everything is online. Yes, referrals are best, but you know, I don't have a very big sphere. So for me, I need to rely on something like Zillow or Realtor.com. You know, I've also tried some Google Analytics and did my leads that way. And I might go back to that after my contract with Zillow's up. But it's summertime right now. It's the month of June, middle of June, and things are really starting to pick up. I've had only, and this is kind of embarrassing to say, I don't know what the going rate is for new realtors. So August will be a year, right? I've had one transaction. Yeah, I know it's sad. But the good news is I just submitted a contract. We've got an offer and acceptance on a second contract. And this house is the offer that was accepted was $333,000. So it's a pretty nice deal. And then I also have another deal that is close to being made an offer on. So that will be my third, provided it goes through, fingers crossed. I think it's going to. We just had to tie up a few loose ends on something. So that would be 2 contracts kind of in the works at the same time. And then I have, what's the other one? My clients that I've been working with for a while now. They're really picky, but they're such awesome people. I know they're going to put a contract in soon on something, but they're just, you know, they're waiting it out, which they should. You know, they want to make sure they find exactly what they want. They were ready to put an offer on something, and it got, the night that I called, the realtor or the listing agent said that an offer has been accepted. So we had missed the boat by like a day. It really stunk. And this house was on the market for like 4 days. It's crazy. Some houses are flying off the market, and then others sit on the market for like 300 days. I think it's just a matter about, you know, the seller pricing it to sell or pricing it to wait it out and be patient and stubborn. Both happen. So, but anyway, so why am I making this video? I guess I'm making this video because I wanted to touch base, because if anybody has subscribed and has not seen anything from me for a while, they're probably like, okay, well, she gave up on that whole thing of going live or having her videos. And no, I didn't. I just felt like I still had some lessons to learn. I also was waiting because my kids tell me that my camera that I use, like just using my regular camera for my phone and, you know, reversing it, is not good enough, that I should have something that makes my camera stable and more high quality. And, you know, I'm like, I don't have time for all that right now. Let's just be real. I'm actually, it is, what time is it? It's 5:17 a.m. and I am in the parking lot of my gym getting ready to go work out. And I was sitting here and I was looking at some videos for training, because remember I told you I don't have a lot of training. So what do? I find my training. I go online and I just, you know, if there's something that I have a question about, I have a question about Transaction Desk, you know, and all the forms. And I'm trying to find like a tutorial for Transaction Desk, because it seems like every time I've used it so far, which is only, well, actually, I used it more than twice. I had another contract that I filled one out for. So I've used it like 3 times. And I just didn't, it's like I'm doing it all over again for the first time every time I use it, you know, because I think it's so spread out. When you do something consistently, you know, obviously every day you're filling out contracts, you become quite proficient at it. And I hate being slow at something. I'm the type of person that I like to just know it, boom, boom, boom. And I don't like being unsure of something. It's driving me crazy. So I'm going online and I'm just trying to find out the ins and outs of this program. And that's really what it's all about. If you are a new agent and you feel like you're at a place where you're not getting a lot of training, I guess my advice today is go online and find it, because you can like literally find every sort of training. I have a quick story to tell you actually, and I probably wouldn't suggest doing it this way because yeah, it's just probably not the best way. But this is what I did. This is what I would call in a pinch. So I was driving to meet a client who was looking to buy a house. It was about an hour drive, and I knew there was a potential of the client possibly wanting to sell their current house. And they were like snowbirds. So, and it was a referral from like another agent to another agent. And so anyway, so I did it. And that's why I drove the hour to go see them. And so I realized, you know what, I've got all of the listing agreement paperwork printed out from Transaction Desk, and I've got everything ready to go with me in case they decide that they want to go ahead and list their house. But I've never really done one. Like, how do I know how to present this? How do I know what I'm going to say? I don't want to like fake it. So I went online, and like literally the entire drive, I listened to a video. I couldn't watch it because I'm driving, but I listened to the video, and it was how to present your listing. And it was really helpful. But I mean, I will tell you that I never got to do the listing. My buyers actually just changed their mind on the house because it was too much work. And they were leaving to go back up north in a couple of days. So they said they would be back in touch, and, you know, when they come back down again, and kind of start the process a little bit sooner so they have more time. But with that being said, I found some kind of resource that I could use to help train myself. The internet is great. Anything that you need, you just go onto YouTube, like seriously, and you'll find it. So, but the most important thing is if you can find a brokerage that offers training and you have the time to sit down with people and to do the training, I think that would be phenomenal. Real estate's a second job for me, so I do have a full-time job. So a lot of times these trainings are like in the middle of the day. I did find one company that does videotape them, and I'm considering switching to them. But like I said, I've got these Zillow broker flex leads that I'm not ready to give up quite yet. But I might after these summer months, and maybe transition to a new company come like maybe the beginning of the year or something. But yeah, just find yourself somebody that has trainings. Find somebody that can work around your schedule if you can't do midday trainings, because training is everything. There is so much in the world of real estate. My broker tells me that he's been doing it for 15 years and he still learns something new, like with every transaction, every deal. So when you think you got it, then something else happens. The other part to learn, and maybe videotape, or maybe that just comes with like your natural instinct, because if you wanted to become a real estate agent, you might already be kind of good at this, but it's your negotiation skills. I think that's also pretty huge, and I think I was really successful, I have to say, with my second deal that I have with the contract being made. I really thought outside of the box, and I did pretty quickly, and it all worked out in my buyer's favor. So it was perfect. The house was on the market for $369, and we ended up getting a signed contract for $333,000. So yeah, it was pretty good. And the comps in the area were supporting the $369 offer. So this is like going to be a true investment for my buyers. But anyway, don't be afraid to negotiate. Don't be afraid to really stand behind what your buyers are looking for. You're not going to lose the deal just because the first offer doesn't go through, right? So your buyers can always make a counteroffer depending on what the market's like. I know like 10 years ago or 15 years ago when the market was booming, houses were flying off the MLS, and you didn't have time to negotiate like that because, you know, you just didn't. You'd lose the deal. But you have to know, like the house that I negotiated that way with was on the market for about 6 months. And it was on the market for about 6 months. They had another real estate listing agent, and then they changed listing agents and then put it on the market again. So I know that they were definitely sitting for a while, and they were definitely going with the highest price that they could go as far as what the comps told us. But at the end of the day, they wanted to sell. So you just have to look at all of that information. But again, I'm not an expert because I'm new, and I've only got my second transaction since August. So, and this month is June, if I didn't say that already, June 2019. So yeah. But anyway, hopefully the next time I have a video, maybe it'll be 6 months from now, maybe it'll be a year, but hopefully I will be telling you a whole bunch of stuff that I've learned since this video. Let me see, what did I learn since the last video? The last video that I made was like do's and don'ts, I believe, or my top 10 advice. That's what it was, my top 10 advice. And I think the advice that I gave was, all in all, I think it was good advice. I don't think it was bad advice, but I think it wasn't the right advice for the time of being so new. So for a new agent, there probably would have been maybe more important things to worry about. I tend to kind of go all in with things. Like I have my own website, you know, my own CRM. I refuse to use a CRM that's provided by a brokerage company because I want to be able to keep my own leads, and I pay money for that though. You know, I've invested so far, since I've been licensed, since August to June, I've invested about $5,000 in marketing, my CRM, my website. That's total. That's not including like my MLS fees or business cards and, you know, things like that. That's just money out of pocket to try to be the best agent that I can be and get the most leads that I can get. So it's a lot of money, and especially since I've only had one deal, you know, that's closed and finished, and that I've made commission on. I'm not really making money yet, but persistency definitely pays off, and I'm definitely a persistent person, and I'm not going to give up because I've definitely spent way too much money and time into this. And they say that the majority of real estate agents give up after the first year, and then even more give up after the second year. And I am not going to be in those odds because I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it work for me and for my family, my kids, and plus I really like it. You know, I love it actually. So I'm going to do it, and I'm going to get really good at it. And I cannot wait to tell you guys what I've done to be successful one day. All right, guys, I'm out. I got to go work out. Bye.